morning we are making a 4-hour motor trip from Beaufort, North Carolina to Oriental, North Carolina. And we heard that they're pretty boater friendly and welcoming there, and that they have a Piggly Wiggly with a shuttle that'll take you, the Piglet Shuttle, that will take you from a dock to the store and back to a dock. So excited to see what that's about and get some groceries, and yeah, we'll go check it out.
Somebody told us one of the Beauforts is named Beaufort and one is like Beaufort or something. Oh. But I can't remember which is which, so.
I don't know where we are.
Sorry about that. We're in Beaufort, spelled B-E-A-U-F-O-R-T, North Carolina. There's not like a ton of protected anchorages here, so we're kind of just like off the channel in the ICW, which I feel like is normally fine. But here, there's like fishing boats that leave at like 4 or 5 in the morning, like big fishing boats, and then come back in the evening, and they just like make such huge wakes that like by 4:30, 5 in the morning, we just like could not sleep because the boat was just rolling so hard. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the other side. If we end up putting this away for a while, we usually kind of wash it first.
But we're gonna use it in a couple hours.
But yeah. Then it's going right back into the dirty water. It really makes you miss the Bahamas.
Today we're making our way over from Beaufort to Oriental, North Carolina. We motored the whole way and it took us about 5.5 hours.
It's the storm inside that's breaking my heart each morning while it keeps it going. It's been driving my life.
We anchored in the outer anchorage because we prefer to have more space and chain out, but we did have to deal with some rockiness out there.
It is sweltering out in here.
It's like I can't breathe, it's so humid.
So humid, so hot. It's like 90 degrees.
Which, in theory, isn't that hot. It's the humidity that gets you.
And there's only 2 knots of wind, if that. So there's no breeze, it's brutal. So we're gonna head to shore. We just anchored in Oriental. It looks super cute. It's supposed to have a dinghy dock, supposed to have lots of amenities. I think people for in the marina, but we'll see. Maybe we can sneak a load of laundry in.
Oriental only has around 800 residents and I think over 3,000 boats, so it's incredibly sailor friendly. We walked around town for a bit and decided to check out Rick's Barbecue, which is only open Thursday through Saturday, and it was seriously so good. I highly recommend it if you're passing through Oriental. Unfortunately, a few minutes into our meal, our anchor alarm went off, so then we quickly made our way back to the boat. We've never had the alarm go off while we were on land before, but thankfully we weren't actually dragging, we just didn't set our scope big enough on the alarm. There are so many jellyfish in the Neuse River. We can look off the side of the boat and easily count 30 at a time.
Yeah, I really wanted to clean the bottom of the boat here, but as you can see, there's way too many jellyfish for me to want to get into the water. I don't think either of us have ever been stung by a jellyfish.
Not yet.
Let's go do it, just to get it out of the way.
I can't catch all of them on camera, but we just counted at least 30. I think they like the boat.
I think they're just floating on by. I think there's just a million jellyfish in this river. Okay, time to do some laundry.
Finally, it's been like 3 weeks.
4 weeks maybe?
I mean, I've done some laundry on the boat.
But yeah, some of our Patreon members happen to be in Oriental, North Carolina, so we're gonna go do some laundry with them. Maybe go to the Piggly Wiggly. Even if we don't get to take the Piglet Shuttle, we'll still show it to you. It has to be in the parking lot.
Yeah. So far, we've really been enjoying Oriental, North Carolina. Super quaint. Everyone's super friendly. Very sailor friendly town. Like the most sailor friendly town we've run into so far.
And there's Teresa.
We had a lovely lunch with Jim and Teresa. They're on sailing one day and they're letting us borrow their car to go do our laundry, which is so sweet. This community is just like overwhelming with kindness, and so yeah, thank you Jim and Teresa again, and we will bring her back safely.
It's a bit wild just based on, I feel like most of the time people would not just be like, oh yeah, here's the keys to my car, you know, see you in a couple hours. But the sailing community, just built different.
I think they've run into similar situations where people let them borrow a car and it made such a difference for them. So they're just trying to pass it forward, and you know, one day we will do the same when we have the opportunity. So that's funny, their boat's name is One Day.
It felt so incredibly good to get laundry done. We ended up hanging out with Jim and Teresa the rest of the afternoon. And then the next day we called the Piggly Wiggly and had the shuttle come pick us up from the docks. This was such a cute experience to have the Piglet shuttle come and take us to the store. I think this is a really clever setup considering how many sailors come through Oriental.
And just like that, we got some groceries.
About 200 bucks, so a little bit more than we usually spend, but we went a little bit crazy getting some cheese and meat to do a little bit of charcuterie for dinner.
4th of July charcuterie board.
Yeah, so that's on us. But overall, about the same prices we've been paying.
We got to meet Eddie, who was very kind.
Yeah, the guy who drove us. Instead of helping you, I'm just gonna video you. Thoughts?
Sounds good.
You look cute.
Thank you.
I hope you all can hear me okay. It's really windy today, so we're getting a lot of movement. I just wanted to do a quick update on how I've been feeling about boat life since we've been doing this for a few months. Actually, we've owned the boat for 7 months now, which is insane to me, but we've only been moving around on the boat for like 3 or 4 months now. So I just wanted to do an update because the beginning was such a rough transition for me, as a lot of you know. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm still adjusting. I think that's okay. I have bad days where I'm kind of like, why are we doing this? Like, all these things that used to be easy, like getting, I don't know, just living day-to-day life is harder than, you know, it used to be being on land. So there's definitely a bit more struggle, but honestly, at the same time, like when I think about, well, would you give this up and go back? My answer is no. Like, even though it is harder and sometimes I have bad days, like I still prefer this way of living and this adventure that we're on. I'm not gonna lie to you and say that this lifestyle is easy and that it's not emotionally draining at points as well. But I also wouldn't give it up. And I think there's a lot to that. You know, you get to experience very low lows, but that makes things that are like the highs in life feel even higher. Like, I've never appreciated showers and laundry and all of these things we just kind of take for granted. I've just never appreciated them like I do now. And I don't know, I think there's something to be said about that. I think a lot of us forget to enjoy life for what it really is. And you know, just something like watching the sunset, like we do that pretty much every night now, and I used to miss out on that every single day, and that makes me so sad. I miss so many sunsets, and they're gorgeous, and everyone should, I don't know what everyone should do. Don't listen to me tell you what to do with your life, but I just wanted to share that I am still struggling, I'm still adjusting, but I also wouldn't change it, so.
Time for another repair that we're doing for the first time. Somebody commented like, you know, take a shot every time. Patrick and Michaela said we're doing this for the first time. Don't recommend doing that for your own safety. But our engine is dropping RPMs just a little bit. Like if we just have it like going 2200 RPM or something, every once in a while it'll just drop down to like 2000 or 1800 just for a second and then pop back up. So I feel like our fuel filters might be a little dirty. I haven't changed them yet. It's been, I mean, we've owned the boat about 7 months now. So I figure it's about time, or at least that's like the first place we're gonna look. So I watched a video of somebody do the filter change and also an oil change, which is something we also need to do, either here or in Belhaven. So let's just give it a go. I'm gonna do the fuel first though, because I think that's gonna be the one that's gonna be a little more important just to make our next hop. Okay, so that's all it should take to cut access to the fuel. Okay, so we just cut access to the fuel filter. I hope you like my bleached shirt, where it'll slowly get more tie-dye as time goes on. Sound insulation is falling off at the moment, which is making me kind of cry. Okay, so here's the fuel filter over here. I saw a tip on the video that this thing, of course, is filled with fuel because the system just kind of works that way. So we really don't want to get fuel everywhere. Not that it's actually like too much of a problem, but just because it sucks to clean up. So I think what we're going to try to do is put a little plastic bag around it. The only issue now is like, how do we actually twist this off? Okay, we might have to work on tapping that off, actually, because it seems quite stuck on there. And look, no fuel getting everywhere. Okay, so we got 2 fuel filters here. This one's actually for the water fuel separator over there, which I think we'll do next. And then here's the new fuel filter. I want to say, I mean, it definitely looks dirtier, but it also just looks red and the fuel is red, so I don't know, it couldn't possibly make things worse, right? So you can see, a little dirty, but not too bad. So the video I was watching said like fill this guy up with some fuel before you put it on. But there's also like the butterfly pump thing. I'm just worried about like if I'm gonna be able to put fuel in this and not make a giant mess. Guess we can try a little bit, maybe. So we're just gonna pop that guy right back on there. And just about getting the ring back on here. Okay. Okay, I think that part's done up until I'm gonna bleed the air out of the fuel system, but I'm not gonna do that yet. I'm not gonna do that yet. I'm gonna do the water separator first. Just to make sure that, I mean, I don't know, I just feel like it makes sense to do both of them at the same time. They're only like $10 for this one and $25 for the other one. So I'd rather just make sure that they're nice and clean and kind of like taken out of the equation for why is my engine RPM dropping. So this thing's not in the funnest spot to get to, but same kind of deal. I'm gonna take this guy off. Okay, so this thing seems stuck on here. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to take it off so that we could work on it. Okie dokie. You know, if you're being kind of an idiot, sometimes that can make this stuff kind of work out. So using this guy, which I'd never really used before, we were able to, with a rag, get the filter off. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but it is like absolutely filthy in there. You can see just how black it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that was probably the thing that was gunked up. And this is a pre-filter, right? So first the fuel goes through this thing and then it goes through the actual filter that's on the engine. So I'm gonna guess, so, you know, that's why that one looked so clean and was fine, because this one was so bad. So it's working as intended, well, which I can appreciate. But yeah, hopefully this will kind of help with our fuel RPM dropping woes. I will say I probably need to clean the tank as well. There's like some gunk in it, but no more gunk than what has always been in there. So, but yeah, getting through the problems. Gonna wipe diesel all over my face. It's one of those days where like if you're doing anything with the fuel, you're just gonna be covered in fuel. Yeah, we'll get everything cleaned up, everything primed, and then we'll see if we can get the engine running again. And now we just gotta put everything back together, get all of the air out of the system, so it's primed with like fuel, and then should be good. So we have like the 3 pieces of this. 3 pieces, one of them being an O-ring. And I heard you're supposed to put some fuel. It seems a little strange to me to put fuel on there, but I guess it is like a fuel-based system. I guess if anything, fuel is gonna get kind of on everything. Yeah, it does say. It has like a little picture. Don't fill it full of fuel, it says. So that's okay. We weren't gonna do that anyway. So, you know, we'll just get that on there. And it's nice and clean on the inside here now. I can't believe how gunky it was in there. It's kind of a sign that we definitely will need to clean the tank sooner rather than later. Let's take our bag of... See, this feels like super clean. But then look at this fuel. Oh my. Look at this fuel. That's all the stuff that was sitting in there. Okay, moment of truth. Let's see if this works or not. Maybe I didn't prime the air out of the system enough. Okay, so it seemed to die there. So let's try to prime it a little more. Maybe that was it. Now it's getting kind of full. Okie doke. Maybe something isn't on tight enough. Okay, so I think I just needed to get a little more air out of the system. I guess I'll have to figure out like why fuel was coming out of the top. I guess maybe it was just the amount of air that needed to get through the system, because I couldn't really figure out how to get it off that initial pump, so I just pumped it all out through the filter on the engine. But now it seems to be working okay. So now I guess the thing is going to be an oil change. But first we gotta let the engine run for like 15 minutes just so the oil is, I say 10-15 minutes just so the oil is liquid enough to be able to suck it out of the dipstick. Okay, so we have like a brand new Rotella engine oil. And because Casper set me up for success in so many different ways, we also have an empty one so that we can take the oil out with this suction vacuum thing, then dump it into here so that we can take it to a marina. So our vacuum thing isn't all filled with oil all the time. Okay, so before we put this guy back on, which I think the GoPro was on but didn't record, which is quite frustrating. But we gotta put a little fresh oil on the ring here. So we're just gonna put a little oil in this cap. We're just gonna do a little bit of finger painting. You can see it, like you just get sweatier and sweatier because it's like, I started at like 8 in the morning and now it's like noon. So it's just gotten hotter and hotter and hotter. It's just hand tight before, so we're just gonna make the hand tight again. Okay, gotta be careful with what we're touching in here because everything's very hot now. Getting the oil out. Okay, so now here comes the tricky bit. So there's like 0.25 liters in this guy. So first we're gonna dump that in. Then we'll dump what's in the bucket into this. We'll know how many liters we need to put back in. And then we'll run it a little bit and then kind of check the levels and see how it goes. So let's go ahead and first dump in what's left of this good engine oil. And that should do it. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, we'll do a cinematic shot through the engine bay of pouring the old oil into this. See, I don't know about that. That was only 1 liter. Okay, I think we're gonna try to pump more. I feel like it should be like 2.5 liters or something like that. Okay, so even ignoring the fact that we just put in like 1/4 to 1/2 a liter, let's try it again. Changed up the strategy just a bit. Added an extra hose so we could pump it up here. Well, I can't seem to get any more out. So, I don't know, I might have to look for like a different kind of hose. Maybe my hose is like too big to get to the bottom of the sump. I think for now I'm just gonna replace the leader and then try again when we get to Bellhaven. Yeah, I think that's kind of the option. I think there's a West Marine Express here too. Maybe I'll look, maybe they have like a vacuum pump hose that would be like a little slimmer. So yeah, for now we're just gonna put a liter in and you know, a little cleaner, not perfect.
While I was finishing up work, Patrick went into town to get fuel, run to the hardware store, and check out the beginning of Croaker Fest, which I believe is a festival that Oriental throws every year, and it brings a lot of people to town.
It was way too hot not to get eliminated as I'm walking back, but we did finally find the 3/16 stainless steel screws that we needed for the swim ladder, so feeling pretty good about that.
Through the black and the blue, whatever the mountain, we'll climb to the next. Honey,